Local lawmaker reacting to the news today, moments before stepping onto the field. Democratic Iowa State Senator J.D. Scholten speaking with KTIV this afternoon ahead of his game with the Sioux City Explorers. Scholten commented on the first presidential debate of 2024 and how that could have played a factor into President Biden's decision today.
I don't think anybody came out of that debate thinking that President Biden did well, and even himself. And as an honest person, he looked in the mirror and said, am I the best fit for this party? And today he decided that we should probably go in another direction in order to win in November. And so that takes a tremendous amount of self-awareness, and I would say most politicians wouldn't do that.
We will have more from state lawmakers tonight on News 4 at 10.